Welcome to the Why Not Us podcast.
Welcome back to another episode. Why Not Us podcast.
Welcome back, Houston.
Yes.
Glad to have you back, boy.
Yes,
Let's go.
I know. It's good to be back.
He only likes to show up on winning weeks.
That's right.
Yeah, I know it's convenient. It's convenient, show up on the week after a win. It is a little easier to talk about. But so here we are coming off a win yesterday for the Cougs against TCU in dominating fashion. 44-13. Probably the most complete game we've seen out of the football team to date. Top to bottom, everybody played incredible, executed on point. Offense looked incredible. Bear Bachmeier's now tied for the record of rushing touchdowns for a QB in a season at BYU with Steve Young and Taysom Hill. So 2 more games to break that record, which I have a feeling he's going to do.
Yep.
So
very likely.
Anyway, yeah.
Yep.
Great game. So yeah, well let's just talk about that game a bit. Dad, you were down there, so I'm curious to hear what the vibe was for the fans down there coming off the Texas Tech loss going into TCU.
The fans showed up early. We got down there early. The Cougar Walk was packed. That was a lot of fun. Pre-Cougar Walk, they had the big, huge screens, however big those babies are, that they got down there on Cougar Canyon with the BYU UConn game going. So everybody was watching that. So that was a good vibe. First half wasn't so great for that game, but second half was really good. But no, the fans, I mean, it was a sellout. There was good energy. Crowd was into it. Perfect night for football. Temperature was pretty good. It was interesting. The field itself looked like it was a little slippery because some of the players were sliding a little bit on both teams. But anyway, as far as the game atmosphere, awesome as always. The third quarter into the third quarter, going into the fourth, celebration, awesome stuff. Pretty cool to see everybody stay till the bitter end of that game, even though it was not in doubt. So BYU fans, they're pretty awesome. So great atmosphere. It was fun. It was a fun night.
Yeah.
Picked up a little swag.
The commentators were making
that's a nice switch.
Comment about the fans staying and being rowdy towards the end there. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And you see my head turned. I'm on my other screen, legitimately ordering Gordon's sweatshirt as we speak. Like I'm about to press buy and proceed to check out. So you'll have to excuse me for a sec because that is one incredible piece of merch right there.
Yes, it is. Shout out to the BYU merch team there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great game. So JC and I kind of texted beforehand what the outcome of this game would say to us or to the country or whoever out there, signal to everybody what's going on. So after the final, watching the game, how do you feel that way?
Yeah, and what we were trying to illustrate was like there's a significant difference between obviously losing this game. If they lost this game, then you know that they've given up on the season. This is a team you should have won in any stat, feeling, whatever, right? So losing was obviously a given on how you'd feel. But I also feel like if you would have come out and won this game by like 1 point, 3 points, game-winning field goal, had it close, nail biter, all that stuff throughout the game, I'm feeling pretty uneasy about the rest of the season and especially postseason opportunities. If you come in and dominate like we did, then that changes the expectation a little bit because we folded a little bit last year, and the punch in the mouth compounded to a point that kept us from postseason play. We got punched in the mouth, and to see us rebound like we did was really, really refreshing, really cool to see, and gave me hope for what we've got coming up. It gives me a lot of confidence for the last 2 games. There's a likelihood that we're in Texas playing Texas Tech, for the conference championship, and I know we'll get to it later, but lots of postseason after the conference championship playoff implications in play here.
Yeah. Excuse me. I thought that the win by the team overall, I'm with you. I'm with you on that as far as the postseason goes and kind of what's the outlook for the next couple games. I just thought I was really happy to see the team play the most complete game they've had. I mean, defense played incredible. Interception by Satwala was great. Interception by Tanner Wall. I mean, just looked like a BYU defense and looked like a BYU offense. And I know TCU's not Texas Tech, but we came out and we ran the ball right down the middle and they couldn't stop us. And we got receivers open and Bear made some incredible throws, hung in the pocket. Like he hung in the pocket great during that game. I thought he hit a lot of receivers just breaking down the field on long throws. I mean, he just looked incredible. So, yeah, can't say enough good about the win, and makes me hopeful moving to going on the road to Cincinnati this week, which, is still, I mean, as far as BYU is concerned, is a must win. Cincinnati has kind of knocked themselves out of the race, with losing last week. So they've kind of, right now it's a BYU Texas Tech game to lose for the conference championship. So anyway, but so Dad, you were saying Fox Big Noon kickoff is headed to Cincinnati for BYU. How do we feel about that? Another week on Fox.
If it's Fox, I love it. I've got a rant about ESPN I'll save for later, but Fox treated us good. I mean, they've been positive with us. I think it's awesome. You're getting some attention. Cincinnati dropped out of the top 25. However, we're still up in the number 11 in the AP poll. Who knows what'll happen with College Football Playoff Bowl? Probably something similar. But yeah, I think it's awesome getting them there again for us. This is shows that we're being recognized as a team program. So. And they've treated us good, man. When the Fox Big Noon has been around, I love their production they put together, and they've been very BYU friendly. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think, with Houston making the comment of Cincinnati now being out of the top 25, they've got 3 losses now. Or is it 10? Yeah.
I think it's
or is it
2.
2?
Oh, no, 3. They lost to
Nebraska. Yeah,
2 in conference, 3 overall. Yeah.
So, I mean, you got a 3-loss team. These big, production companies could go anywhere. They could go, and they want the top teams. But what I think this illustrates is that they know, number one, they like BYU and the story that BYU has for this season, which shows me that they still believe in what BYU can accomplish this season. But I also want to give credit to probably the BYU fans and just the overall attention that it brings that production company because of how good the fans are. So kudos to the fans for making it so that these companies want to do this, but then also kudos to the company for, being on our side and seeing that there is a story there. And hopefully when they look back next year, they're going to appreciate the fact that they were at 2 of our games.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think, man, I don't want to go back and talk too much about it, but the Texas Tech loss was tough, but this by no means a marker of this team this year. They're definitely different last year in terms of their ability to win games. Their ability to kind of dominate the line of scrimmage has been the MO. So TCU was exactly kind of what I expected to see. Players are pissed off. Coaches are pissed off. They made that clear all week. And I think that's going to roll right into the end of the season. And, I'm not saying this team is Ohio State of last year, but Ohio State was looking good. A top 10 team loses to Michigan at the end of the year in pretty bad fashion, and then proceeds to destroy everyone on their way to a national championship. So, hate to lose, but maybe a loss is good. Maybe a loss kind of squares the perspective for everybody, gets them locked in again for the remainder of the season, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes this weekend.
Yeah, going back to the TCU game, TCU 6-3 coming in. Their 3 losses, 3.7 points, and I think 13. We beat them by 31. The TCU is a good team. They had some of the best defensive stats in the conference. They passed the ball all over the place against people. And I guess I'm bringing that up because it doesn't seem to matter what you do is a program, the Big 12 and BYU. So that's a quality team, and we win, and all of a sudden it's like, well, BYU got lucky again, or TCU is not that good a team. I can give you a whole laundry list of games. Boston College should have beat Georgia Tech. That's Florida should have beat Ole Miss, but all of a sudden
South Carolina
South Carolina
should have bet Texas A&M. But somehow all those teams are great teams to come back and win. But somehow when we win, it's you lucked out, and
no one's
proves how
saying
bad your conference is.
no one's saying a word about Texas A&M getting lucky against South Carolina down 27 at halftime. They're still going to, it's the greatest team in the country. Look at the way they came back, and yeah, you're right. You're right. And the bias will stand.
Yeah. So I guess my point with all that is we got some good teams. Texas, TCU is a good team. Cincinnati's a good team. We've probably got, I'm going to say 7 or 8 real quality programs in the Big 12. Every conference has their bottom feeders. This year it's Oklahoma and UCF, Oklahoma State and UCF. Yeah. But outside of that, the other teams are competing on a week to week basis. And UCF even has gone out and competed. I'd say the only dog we've got is Oklahoma State. We got some quality programs.
Yeah, and I'll say this too to kind of go along with that, and also what Houston mentioned. The refreshing thing and what's really cool about this win and the fashion that we won it is, we've made the comment a couple times, it was the most complete game. And what we mean by that is that we played 4 quarters of what we would consider good football, where we're not slow, where we're stalling out on drives, where stupid mistakes were made, or not just stupid mistakes, because mistakes are going to be made all the time, but mistakes that were big enough that they cost drives or they cost points for the other team. We just didn't see that this game, which is super refreshing. And then to Gordon's point, this is not a cupcake TCU team. This is probably mid to mid-high tier Big 12 conference teams, which
last week they were in the talk for the championship still.
Yeah, just they're a legit program. They're really good. And for us to come out after we got punched in the mouth and come out and have our first complete game, I do have the sense of feeling to what Houston illustrated, to where this might be an Ohio State situation where we came and we got punched in the mouth, because before then we were just scraping by and winning, and that was it. Then we get punched in the mouth. We come out and we play the best football game we've played all season, in my opinion. And it makes me really excited that this team has finally got to that point. And what are we, 9 games in now? Glad it's here, because we need it for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yep. No. Yeah, I agree.
No.
Well, and it's a good time to be peaking as a team. And I think that moving forward into the last 2 games, rolling into the conference championship, this is when we want to get hot, Mm-hmm. And I think the thing we've been frustrated with all year, even having been 8-1, is you look back at the schedule and you look at Colorado and you look at Arizona State and some of these other teams we played in conference, and you think we should have beat those teams how we beat TCU. Like that, we knew that was there somewhere. We just hadn't put that complete game together yet. Mm-hmm. And it also makes me extremely happy to see we're up 30 points. We've got the second string defense in, and they've got enough pride to keep them out of the end zone. Yeah. I know 44-20 doesn't make that big of a difference, but it's just nice to see, see some pissed off, Cougars, and go out and win the game and dominate, and don't let any crap happen, at the end of the game. So that made me really happy to see us finish that way.
And I texted Houston about this as well to add to that. So it was that one drive, I think, that with the one punt that we had, Bear Bachmeier, they got a last little clip of him walking to the sideline, and he's ripping his helmet off, and he almost threw it. That type of fire is what championship teams need and must have. You're up three touchdowns at that point. The game's in hand. Most would just walk off and be like, yeah, it's fine. Like, whatever, it was a terrible drive. Bear's pissed. And it's because he's demanding, excellence from himself, from his team. They talked about on the broadcast, Bear was extremely hard on himself. And when they were talking to coaches in practice and all that stuff, Bear had a different look about him. He dialed it in. Like, this kid wants to win and execute at the highest level. And I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you feel that from the fans too. And I commented to this, and Dad, you can speak to this since you were there, but there were 65,000 fans until that clock hit 0. Is what it felt like.
Yeah, I mean there was a large. I mean, there's a few that trickle out a little early, but the majority of the fans were still in the stands right till the bitter end of there, and the way they were engaged, in the game. It wasn't just they were in the stands; they were actually engaged.
I mean, false starts on the last drive.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it was a problem. It still wasn't I don't think our potential where we can be, but it was the most complete game we've played to this point. 7 drives, first 7 drives, 7 scores. What more can you ask for? The first punt was in the second half.
Yeah.
And just a comment on the punt, Vanderhaar is hurt.
Okay.
So, and
I was gonna ask that because I thought I heard something out of the post game media post Texas Tech that the coaches were not happy with him. So I didn't know if that was a benching or what exactly.
No. So what happened with that one? It sounds like they probably should have benched him at Texas Tech because I think he got injured the game prior and his leg was injured, and that probably led to the 2 shanks from what the word on the street is now. And so they held him out of this game. The one punt that was it Schultz?
I don't
know.
Church.
I know most of the depth chart. I do not know the backup punter.
Yeah. So he walked out there and we're like, who's this? Anyway, he boomed the first one, the second one, whatever happened there. But anyway, so Vanderhaar didn't get benched for any reason other than he's injured. His leg was hurt, which caused the shanks the week before. But gosh, just when you're not punting till late in the second half, and then you go 7 straight drives of scores. There was a couple big plays that the defense, and I think it goes back to the field, was a little bit slippery. Evan Johnson, and I don't know the name of the receiver, but number 1 for TCU. That guy is a baller.
Yeah,
he's fast and he's got good moves. Evan, I don't know that he took a bad angle on the one where he ran away from him, but I think he slipped a little as he went to break down, which, like I said, was happening throughout the game. But gosh, you take away a couple of those big plays. We held them under 300 yards. They only scored 13 points. We had 4 sacks. Can we just say in the last 2 games we've had 8 sacks?
Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean,
that's got to be more sacks than we've had in a decade. Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yep. We've moved up. I think the last year we're like 109th in sacks that I saw today, and I think now we are like 26th in the country.
That's crazy.
That's such crazy. A good turnaround.
And we were not blitzing. That was 4-man pressure, maybe 5 once in a while. But yeah, a lot of little stunts and different things. Yep. The D-line, whatever D-line lineup we had, I thought was the best we've had so far. A lot of Schoonover getting some play. What is 13's name?
Akana?
Yeah. He played incredible. He's a freshman, is he not?
He is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's a freshman. He is incredible.
He is incredible. He is fast, and he blows by those linemen like they're not even there. The tackle he made on Hoover, the quarterback, when he tried to do the quarterback draw on the 3rd and 2 or whatever it was, and I mean he hit him. Maybe he shed the blocker and hit him, and I don't even think he gained a yard on that play. But yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So just excited that way to see the defense step up. They played incredible against Texas Tech. They really did. Yeah. And they played just as good as they should have against TCU. So really good win there. I'm looking forward to the next couple games. We've still got 2 solid games left of the season to kind of cement ourselves in the conference championship, and then it's time for a rematch against the Red Raiders, I hope. So
yeah.
I think the stats showed that there's a 98% chance that Texas Tech makes it to the conference championship. So it's safe to say that Texas Tech's going to be there.
Yeah.
Bye week this upcoming week, and then they go to West Virginia, and that would be the upset of the decade if West Virginia beat Texas Tech.
Right.
Even though it's at West Virginia, but yeah. So it's just who's going to be playing them, and it better be BYU.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's do this real quick. We'll just briefly do a little playoff talk. I am curious to hear, as far as Big 12 goes, at least, what we think postseason wise. 2-3 teams, 1 team, and then let's just do that real quick. I'm curious to hear everybody's thoughts.
real quick. I could go on for hours about
I
this.
know. I know.
So I'll try to keep it brief. It's a couple one-liners here. The SEC bias is out of control. The hate for the Big 12 is out of control. ESPN's hate for BYU is just disgusting with some of the little articles that have been written and the stuff they come out and said. With all that being said, I think the College Football Playoff Committee has backed themselves into a corner, and we are only going to get one team in the freaking playoff because they're not going to drop Notre Dame, the coveted Notre Dame, the Golden Domers. They're got them up there so high. Oregon, they got them up there so high. And freaking Oklahoma's upset of Alabama just absolutely put the whole thing.
That's brutal.
That had to happen to get freaking Oklahoma out of there. And, they're still talking about a 3-loss Texas in the playoffs. I'm like, no, not even in this world. So, I mean, I love that we won this week. I love how we won. I am just not confident that who are they going to drop? And who are these guys playing? I mean, freaking the SEC's got their Patsy week scheduled with all the teams that, the Citadel and Charlotte and, so anyway, I could go on for days, but what should happen, in my opinion, we should have 2. And I think even Utah should be considered when you look at their strength of schedule and their record. But I just think bottom line, the only way we get 2 is if BYU wins the Big 12 championship. They have to put Texas Tech in also, because there's no way you can leave a Texas Tech team out where you've had them ranked 5 or 6. You can't drop them clear down to number 12 or 13. That's the only scenario I see 2 Big 12 teams getting in the playoff, just because the playoff committees back themselves into a corner, and they're not going to drop those teams above, no matter how. We could go beat Cincinnati by 50 and beat UCF by 50, and they're not going to put us above Notre Dame or Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, obviously some key wins and losses would need to happen for this to shape out. I'm of the opinion, just based off of what happened last year, particularly in the ACC, is the committee has made it clear that they're not going to punish a team for losing in the conference championship. And so I think personally, BYU wins out, makes it to Arlington, and it's BYU, Texas Tech. Regardless of who wins that game, both of those teams are in the college football playoff. I think that we're high enough in the rankings. I think that we will be around 10th by that time if we win out, maybe 9th. And if we're 9th or 10th and Texas Tech is 5th or so, there's no way that they can keep both of us out of that conversation based off of a conference championship, with the caveat that if we lose by 20 or 30, then you've got some merit to go off of. So I think the real challenge that the College Football Committee has in front of them is actually Utah. Because I'm of the opinion with Gordon that you've got 2 Big 12 teams that are almost locked in my opinion. But now you've got a third Big 12 team that is averaging 40 points a game in wins and just dominating every team that they play, and is going to be a 2-loss team that looks a lot better than some of these other teams. Now, I get there's only 12 spots. You got to take the group of 5. You got to take the conference championship winners. And so it is going to be a Utah against like Oklahoma or something that's not in the SEC conference championship. And they're going to have to go through an eye test to see who deserves to be in there or not. And I doubt it's going to come to how high that team is ranked. Like that does have some part to play in it. But I think that the College Football Committee has shown that it's a little different this year than what it was last year.
Yeah, I hope that everything you guys have said is true, because I don't feel that way at all. I think the only path to 2 teams in the playoff is BYU winning the conference championship, period. If they lose in the conference championship, they will be dropped to, well, so here's the problem. We're 12 right now. We won this week. Great. Oklahoma and Alabama are going to swap somewhere in the middle of the top 10. Texas will drop out. Utah will move up. And then you've got Utah 12, BYU 11, and then whatever else up. I don't see us moving up in the rankings at all until the conference championship game. So we go into that game 11, Utah 12. We have to win. what they'll do is if we lose that game, they'll move us to 13. Utah will probably stay at 12, and neither of us will get in because you need the ACC spot and the G5 spot. So you have to have 3 teams in the top 10, and there's no shot in the world that they put 3 Big 12 teams in the top 10. I just don't see it because, like my dad pointed out, who are they going to take out? Notre Dame, Oregon, Ole Miss, go down the list. They're just not going to take anybody out. So the one game I will say that we have coming up on the Pick'ems, Missouri, Oklahoma. If Missouri can somehow pull that game off, maybe we keep out Oklahoma and Texas at 3 losses, and that stirs that conversation a little bit more. It's going to be a really bad look if we go to the conference championship, lose to Texas Tech, and Utah somehow is ranked higher than us, because they've set the precedent. Like my dad said, they backed them into a corner where they are ranking teams head to head and ranking the team higher that has won the head to head matchup. So we'll see.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we could go on for days, but I just one more comment because I know we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. But it's just one of those. I think it's unfortunate that what they've done. Oregon's strength of schedule is average at best. Notre Dame is probably the most overrated team in there with Oregon. And then you've got 5 SEC teams in there. That to me is the biggest travesty right there. And I didn't realize this. So I've been doing a lot of looking today. Texas A&M has not played any team in the SEC that is in the upper echelon. All their teams that they have played are in the bottom half of the conference.
Yep.
But yet we're talking about how great they are, but they haven't played anybody yet. I don't think Alabama's as great as everybody wants to make them out to be either. You lose to Florida State, who is a horrible team. You lose to Oklahoma on your home field. I mean, the days of yore of Alabama being this. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but just they're a shoe-in, and to see these teams rise up after they barely beat a team that's a horrible team, and you see them go up a spot or two. There's no way in heck that we're going to get 2 Big 12 teams unless we win and Texas Tech gets to put in there. It was kind of depressing as I was reading everything today because I was like going, man, we'll get 2 Big 12 teams in there, and I'm just like going, there's no way.
We have to win.
The College Football Playoff Committee has backed themselves into a corner, and they are not going to admit that they were wrong, and so they're not going to drop those teams. I wish I felt confidence otherwise, but I don't at this point in time. I'm just like going, it's not a good scenario.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say is this, because it is, as much as I hate to say this, Utah deserves to be in the playoff this year. I mean, they really do. They've lost to 2 top 12 teams. And other than that, they have beat teams by an average of 35 points. They should be in the playoff. So it's really unfortunate. Yeah. I would put a Utah up against Texas, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Oregon, you name it. I think Utah could beat any one of them and compete. So,
and that goes for BYU and Texas Tech as well. The one caveat I'll say, and this is outside of the College Football Committee, but it's college football, boys. There's still anything could happen. We got a small taste of it this week. South Carolina almost beating Texas A&M would have been huge. Notre Dame, USC. That's one I've got on my radar eventually coming up. So you never know. There's some games like you pointed out this week. Go Mizzou. Like I would love to see Missouri win this and continue to put the College Football Playoff Committee on blast, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous that Alabama still is ranked above BYU after this, which is exactly what's going to happen tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And so let's let college football be college football and stir it up. At the end of the day, we got to go win. I get that. But a lot of football to be played. And I think it's going to shake some things up for sure.
No doubt.
Last comment and I'm done. Can we get rid of the quality loss?
It's so bad.
It's
get so
rid of
bad.
The quality loss conversation. There is no such thing as a quality loss.
Yeah,
amen. You lost. Enough said.
I think we could have a bad loss category. So if you lose to a team that's terrible, we got to consider that one.
Which Alabama falls under that category. You lost to a freaking terrible Florida State team. You should not be in the top 10 as a 2-loss team with that on your record.
Yeah.
Yes. And man, I know we keep going on about this. Last one, promise. If any team has a quality loss to hang their hat on, it's BYU. And that's it.
Top 10 team.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So,
top 6.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, well let's head over into our pick'ems. I do want to talk some college basketball, get into a little buy or sell as well in this podcast. So let's head straight over into pick'ems. All right, back with the pick'ems this week. Jace's going to give us our tally, and then we'll head over to Dad for the matchups this week.
Yeah, a couple interesting games. Overall tally going into this week. Houston is sitting at 40 points. Jace is sitting at 38 points, and Gordon at a whopping 35 points, with a little asterisk there because, Gordon, last week when you and I were on the podcast, we talked about a game that you had said it was, I believe, the Texas A&M Missouri game a couple weeks ago. On our chart where we picked, because we type in our picks on a drive, you had chosen Texas A&M. But on the podcast you said, was it that game? Might have been Missouri Vanderbilt. Anyway, I need to go back and look because there might be a point that still needs to be given to Gordon that I haven't forgot about that we talked about last week. So
it's all good.
Yeah, so we're sitting at that. Been a great week of college football. Like we talked about earlier, a couple upset, opportunities that were interesting. But as far as our pick'ems go, pretty straight across the board. I would say the biggest underdog upset of the pick'ems that we had was the Arizona-Cincinnati game. Cincinnati looking pretty good. Arizona came and beat them. And then you've got Arizona State, West Virginia. Arizona State took care of that game. Utah dominated Baylor. Georgia handled Texas. Where Houston got his extra points this week to put him up a little bit. He had a great pick, Virginia at Duke. Virginia was a 6.5-point underdog, and Houston picked them to win. I came close. Memphis at ECU. ECU was a 2.5-point favorite. I think they lost by 3, but I had Memphis winning that outright, so I lost that one. Gordon with number 9 Notre Dame at 23. Pittsburgh was a 10.5-point underdog, and Gordon picked them to win outright. Notre Dame handled business. So
Pittsburgh is horrible. I watched the first half of that game. Pittsburgh is horrible.
Yeah. So that was kind of a rundown of last week. But yeah, ending tally: Houston 40, Jace 38, Gordon 35. Yeah, so still anyone's
been on a heater.
Yes, he has. Yep. Yes, he has.
Well, I've been going out on a limb on some of these picks the last couple of weeks, and I tell you what, that it's a blind draw. When you pick Pittsburgh and then you watch them play for half a game, you go, "Oh my gosh, that was a horrible pick." They are horrible. Notre Dame is a good team, but they're not that good. Pittsburgh is just bad. Yeah. Coming down to crunch time here. So this week for our Big 12 pick'ems, TCU now gets to travel to Houston. And still, like I mentioned earlier, I still think TCU is a good team. 6-4. They've had 2 or 3 really close losses. I mean, we were the first team that blew them out. Mm-hmm. Houston has got by the skin of their teeth on the last couple games. UCF should have beat them the last game they played. So I am going to go with TCU with this one, just for the fact that Houston has not shown me that they are a dominant team. In TCU, I think is going to be hungry for the win, so I'm going to TCU.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. I think just having watched them, this will be the BYU game was the only game I really watched all the way through with TCU. Hoover's a great quarterback. I mean, he torched us a couple years ago. They've got those great wideouts. I think the running back, their starter, is out. Potentially will be back. So anyway, I think TCU is just going to throw all over him. So yeah, give me the Horned Frogs.
I'm going with Houston on this one. Yes, they were close against UCF last week. They lost to West Virginia the week before that. But I think with Houston being at home, plus there's got to be probably a little emotion that comes out of TCU after a deflating loss to us and kind of ruining any potential hope that they had. I mean, it was a long shot going into it, but we did crush any potential hope that they had in the conference championship race. And so probably a little bit of deflating emotions there, in my opinion, for TCU. So I think Houston takes care of them.
All right. Next one we have Baylor going to Arizona. Man, I didn't see any of the Utah Baylor game, which is fine with me, other than it looked like Baylor got their lunch handed to them. Arizona is 7-3, I believe. Arizona is a good team, as I keep saying every week. I am saying that Arizona is going to beat Baylor. They are playing some good football right now, as they proved when they went back to Cincinnati and handled business there.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Arizona has looked good. I think we need to give ourselves credit for that win as far as Cougar fans go. And yeah, having said all that, I am going to go ahead and take Baylor on this game. Just haven't seen them play that well. They're fighting for a bowl game. I think they're 5-5 currently, so this would be one to put them over the edge, get to a bowl. So I think that's enough to push them past on this game.
Yeah, I'm going with Arizona on this one. To kind of echo what you guys have already said, they're a legit football team, proven that they can handle most teams. I think their quarterback's a stud. Fida's a great quarterback. So, and it's at Arizona. So I think home field advantage helps with that as well. So Arizona wins.
Nice. All right, we got Arizona State at Colorado. Arizona State, a good team. They're playing really good with their backup quarterback, with Sam Levitt being out. And I know Colorado is not been great this year. The longer they go without Sam Levitt and their other quarterback, I think they're gonna win one for the Gipper in Colorado. They're gonna go and they're gonna win one for Dion this week. So I'm going with the Buffs, that they're gonna pull one out for the good old Neon Dion.
Yeah, it makes me wonder when they're gonna win. You think at some point they got to turn it around. Unfortunately for me, I don't think it's this week. Colorado's giving me some Oklahoma State vibes where the things are just not looking good. So,
yeah, I'm in that position. I'm in that position as well. I think that a couple weeks ago I tried to give Colorado some credit and pick them in something, and they got their butts handed to them. And so I think that they're on the downhill and they're not looking good, and it's just going to amplify for the rest of the season. They're not going to win too many more games. So Arizona State wins that one.
Except for this week, Hey, I'm down 5. I cannot pick the same as you. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. Top 25 matchup this week, and this one has big playoff implications with it. We've got number 23 Missouri and number 8 Oklahoma. Oklahoma's kind of proved me wrong a little bit. I didn't think they were as good a team as they are. I think they are a good team. So where I'm going with this one, and why I'm going to pick Missouri in this one, is I think there's going to be a little bit of a letdown after Oklahoma goes on the road and beats Alabama in Tuscaloosa. They're traveling to Missouri. I think Missouri might get them after the big emotional win that they had the week before. So I think that I'm giving them the edge, Missouri, in this game. That's the reason why I'm going that way.
I like it. A couple things at play here. I've picked Missouri as my underdog a couple of times this year, and they have failed me miserably. Thought they were a lot better team than they have been. Oklahoma's a great team. One of their losses being to Texas in the Red River rivalry, which you kind of have to throw everything out the window for a rivalry game. So I'm going to throw that one out the window. I'm going to take Oklahoma because I think they're the better team. Now, having said that, if my track record is correct and everything works how it should, Missouri will win this game so that we can knock another SEC team out of the playoffs.
There you go.
Yeah.
Reverse karma.
Exactly. Yeah, and we need it, and that plays a huge part in my pick as well. I do believe Oklahoma is a solid football team, but I also think Missouri is kind of one of those that, to what Houston said, they've lost a couple, but I don't think they're a bad football team. I think they're a good football team that can hang with anybody, and so I'm looking for one or two plays in this game that just kind of turns it around. Maybe there's, to Gordon's point, a little bit of down after the emotional win in Alabama. So I'm going with Missouri. We need them to win. Go Tigers.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the Utah effect when we beat Utah last year and we had the emotional high. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see. I think you'll know in that Oklahoma-Missouri game within the first 15 minutes of the game which way it's going to go. Yeah. If Oklahoma came to play, you'll know real fast.
Yeah.
Underdog picks this week. I'm looking at number 16 USC and number 6 Oregon, and Oregon is a good team again. Don't get me wrong, but I still think they have not played that challenging of a schedule. I mean, they've had a couple good wins. Oregon is a 9.5-point favorite right now on the spread there. I would love to see USC beat them, but I'm just going to say USC will cover the spread in that game, that they will not lose by the 9.5 points.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Does a loss for Oregon against USC pull them out of the top 10?
It should, but I don't know if it should.
You think it does?
But the problem here is you almost need Oregon to win, and I say that just because if Oregon loses, now the Texas and the potentially 3-loss Oklahoma start getting talked about as a team that gets in.
Or does USC make a big enough jump to where they're now in the conversation, especially if USC goes in and gives Notre Dame a game?
Well, I believe they've played already, if I'm not mistaken. USC Notre Dame.
I think they're at the end of the season.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the schedule, so I don't know on that one. I'll have to check.
I'll triple check on that while you're talking.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, the front runners at this point need to keep winning. We don't need any other teams to jump up. At least for us, I hope. Anyway. All right. Well,
they played in the middle of October. I don't know why I kept thinking Notre Dame still had USC on the.
Yeah, they got Syracuse and some other.
So Notre Dame's got nobody left.
They're in. Yeah,
they're in. They're not going to lose.
That's so annoying.
So, well, I'm going to go. Man, we featured the old Pirates from East Carolina quite a bit on this show. Kudos to them. I've got them again. I've picked them a couple times as my underdog. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. They are 3.5 favorites at the University of Texas San Antonio, and I think they're going to cover. They're going to win big in that game. So, give me.
I think that's Pirates. A great pick. Yeah, they haven't gotten enough respect this year. I think they're a pretty good football team.
7-3, 5-1 in conference.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
That's solid. For me, we're going to the Mountain West. So Utah State handled, was it Nevada that you had, Gordon, on your underdog pick a while ago? Like, that was impressive to win at that margin. And I think that Utah State, go Bronco Mendenhall, is going to go in and outright win Fresno. Fresno is a 2.5-point favorite, but I am picking Utah State to win outright.
It's a good pick as well. I think so. That's a good one. Good pick'ems. That's a good list this week we got. So, all right. Well, college football is freaking exciting. We also have some madness happening in college basketball, which I want to get to a little bit. So I will give you gents the opportunity for your buy or sell later. I'm going to go ahead and take my buy currently right now, and I am buying on the record AJ DeBonsa. And I say that because behind closed doors, I have been a major, major critic of AJ, of this basketball team, bringing in top recruits. I have had my doubts. I've had a lot of concerns about putting a team together like this. And this kind of leads into our basketball talk. Cougs took a 2-point loss to UConn at TD Ameritrade in the Celtics arena when they were down 20 with 15 minutes left in the game. If that doesn't tell me what I need to know about this team, and AJ took over the second half, and the way they played defensively in the second half was incredible against a team who was potentially a national championship contender. So I will leave it to you boys. I'm curious to hear so far. We are 4 games in. We've had some wins over Delaware, Holy Cross, Villanova first game, which is a great win as well. So I am buying AJ. Looks great.
He's a stud, man. He's a stud.
Minus 2 starters.
Yes, minus 2 starters. Yes.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I mean, I've made it blatantly clear on this show and to anybody who's associated with me, I am all in on this basketball team. I fully believe that we have the talent to go and win a national championship with this team. And it was, the first half, it was kind of a weird feeling because I'm watching it and I'm like, we are playing so bad. It's kind of the potential mindset. Like, this is not our potential. This is not what I see. And so, yeah, I'm feeling a little down and not enjoying what I'm watching. To see us come back to what you guys already said, we have 2 starters out. Keita got hurt. Davis wasn't playing. You're on the road against a team that went, I'm pretty sure they were back-to-back national championships
23, 24, yeah.
23 and 24. So back-to-back national championship winners, top 3 in the country, legendary coach, has an incredible roster in their own right, and you're down 20 with 15 minutes to go, and you come back and have every chance to win that game. That is incredible. Like I've never felt like I always have a pretty heavy emotional tie to a win or a loss. If we lose, I'm pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would as if we just won that game.
I agree 100%.
Which is a wild feeling because we played so good in that second half and showcased what the potential of this team has. To echo what we've said in freaking college football, if we could put a freaking complete game together, we are going to dominate anybody that we play. We have the potential to dominate anybody that we play. I'm not scared of anyone.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to watch much of that game. I saw a little bit of it standing in the Cougar Canyon there, waiting for the Cougar Walk on the big screens there. The first half, it looked like a freaking football game out there. Just, elbows flying. And, of course, I'm a BYU bias, but I thought the calls didn't go our way in the first half, the little bit that I saw. But, to your point, to be down like that and to play a rough first half and then to come back and almost win that game at the end, it's a lot of fun. Let's go back to, was it last year when we went out and played, was it Providence?
Mm-hmm.
And got smacked in the mouth, and Providence was an average team.
Mm-hmm. We lost by 30 or something.
Go ahead 1 year, you go on the road, you go back to the TD Garden, you're playing, basically it's a UConn's home game in their backyard. You don't get smacked by 20, you get down by 20, you come back and just about win the game. So to me, that's says a lot about the team and the excitement we should feel about the team moving forward. Like I said, down 2 starters. Holy cow. We had, at least I did, a little question about the bench, not about the talent, but just about how were they going to blend in and how would they perform in game situation. I think that question's getting answered. And we got some pretty good talent on the bench that can come out and play too.
Yeah.
I will say the one critique I had, and I texted Houston this a little bit, because you can dive into a couple different reasons why we didn't finally pull out the win. You could highlight the obvious one, which was Rob's turnover there at the very end. That kind of sucks, but crap like that happens. The one thing I am going to be a little critical on is our boy Richie. He has not had, outside of the Delaware game, the season so far that I'm hoping that he will. And I still believe that he's going to have it, but he has come out. He was a little flat in the first couple games, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, had a good breakout game in Delaware to kind of get the momentum rolling. But what I saw in this game is he'd come off a screen, catch the ball, hesitate on a 3-point shot, step to the side, and then try to pull something out, or just whip it out after hesitating and not moving at all, which is the worst momentum 3-point shot that you can shoot in basketball. You've got to have it quick, and that's where he thrives. And so I'm seeing hesitation from him, which is a little concerning. He's off because he's just not hitting them. We need Richie to be that guy. We need him to hit those threes. We need him to just be a solid person to be able to throw the ball to and rely on to relieve some pressure from Rob and AJ as they try to create offense. That's my only critique. Other than that, I think we looked great, and I think Richie will find his momentum. So,
yeah. I thought the 3-point shooting is a bit concerning. Good and bad in the sense that we scored a lot of points. Scored 84 points. We did hit some threes in the second half of that game, but the first 3 games, we just haven't been a 3-point shooting team at all. Just can't really make anything. Now we're probably shooting half as many as the team last year did. They were shooting, 70% of their shots were from 3, but so that's something that I'm a little concerned about to see moving forward. I want to see us play defense like we did in the second half there, which I think is what this team's capable of. You look at this team on paper, you look at the roster, we should be the best defensive team in the country. And for whatever reason, we just have struggled in all of the games to play solid defense. And I thought the second half against a top 3 team, the defense was incredible. I mean, we effectively shut them down in the second half. So lot to look forward to there. I would like to see us get that 3-point shot going.
Boscovich should never shoot another 3-point shot in his life. Like I love the guy. I think he's a good ball player. He needs to stop shooting threes for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's tough. That is tough. But well, a lot of good games coming up for the basketball team. So we will hit on that more as we move forward and football season kind of winds down to the postseason. We will talk a lot more basketball, but to wrap it up, I do want to send it to both of you guys. I said my bye earlier, AJ DeBonsa. Let's do buy or sell for you guys to wrap it up.
Go ahead, G. I'll let you kick it off.
Well, I don't want to keep harping on it, but I've got a major sell to
let them have it, G.
ESPN.
Let them have it.
ESPN can go freaking take a leap in the freaking lake. I am so sick of their bias against the Big 12 and BYU. Why you would allow your writers to write that kind of crap about a program and not reprimand them publicly is beyond me. So I'm selling ESPN down the road. They can go bye-bye. We got ENT and Fox Sports that are jumping on the Big 12 bandwagon. Goodbye, ESPN.
Yeah, and just to clarify, you're referring to the writer making several religious comments in regards to BYU's football performance against Texas Tech. So completely uncalled for. Glad that I've seen Drake Toll and others call it out as well. Just not the time or place for that.
It would not be acceptable to any other religious program in college football, but for whatever reason, everybody thinks that they can do it to the LDS faith. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. So
correct.
There's my sell.
It's a good sell.
So my sell, I'm also going to jump on that. It's going to be a little more geared towards I've been so pissed off the past 2 weeks with the ESPN, YouTube, Disney freaking crap. YouTube TV was solid. Like I was able to watch multiple games at the same time. The quality was great. And I had to switch over to Hulu Live TV because ESPN and Disney were strong-arming YouTube into trying to up their prices. And it forced me to, if I want to continue watching college football, I had to get their package. And Hulu sucks. The quality sucked. ESPN app is awful. And I just want to watch some football. Like YouTube was phenomenal. So my sell is on Disney-owned crap and them strong-arming me into having to go get Hulu Live TV, and it's awful. It's awful.
It's a good sell. It's a good sell. I will say this. They did send out an email. They have come to an agreement. ESPN is back on YouTube TV.
Oh my gosh.
As of 2 days ago. As of 2 days ago.
Canceling my Hulu TV immediately.
So
like
the one thing I will give Hulu, and this is it, since it's all ESPN Disney. When the start of that game, the BYU game, was on ESPN News last night, I did not have to flip through the live TV to find ESPN News. I just went to the game and they're broadcasting it on a separate channel under Hulu, and I don't have to worry about switching. I can watch the whole game there. I'm not going to lose the broadcast when they switch over to ESPN.
Yep.
That is the only thing that is good about Hulu over YouTube
Gosh,
TV.
It's awful. Catch me getting back onto the YouTube train. Like I canceled my
100%.
I actually didn't cancel it, believe it or not, because I would have lost my NFL Sunday ticket, which I also purchased.
That's another concern.
So I still have my YouTube TV, thank the heavens, but you can catch me canceling that Hulu immediately.
Get back on the YouTube TV, baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this happens all the time, but it'll keep happening again. But no, it's a good sell. Sell ESPN and the conglomerate. But good podcast, fellas. Glad to be back. I am really, really getting excited to talk more basketball as we move into the future. So look out for that. We might change things up a little bit as far as the flow segments go to gear a little bit more towards college basketball. We're definitely going to be talking about Big 12 basketball, best conference in the country. Texas Tech, Arizona, Iowa State, Houston. Just go down the list. We got Kansas, to name a few. So great podcast, fellas. Appreciate it. Appreciate you carrying on last week without me, and go Cougs.
Go Cougs.